When Neymar was at his peak, he wasn't just an elite player. He was destined to be football's next superstar. Many say he never truly reached his potential, but when it gets down to it, just how good was Prime Neymar? Hold up. Did you hit that subscribe button yet? If not, now's the time, because if you don't, YouTube might just throw something else your way. So go ahead, hit subscribe, and don't miss out on the rest of this awesome video. You know you want to. Neymar's story starts in Brazil, where he was born on February 5th, 1992. His rise to the top seemed almost destined. He grew up in a tough neighborhood in Sao Paulo, and his family had to work hard just to get by. But Neymar didn't let that bring him down. He always stayed positive and looked for ways to help his family. By age 11, Neymar was already one of the best street players in Sao Paulo. His dad, Neymar Sr., who was a former pro footballer, helped guide him. Neymar took his training seriously, and soon he was scouted by Santos. There, he kept getting better, and the coaches saw he was going to be a star. Neymar's talent caught the eye of clubs abroad. Real Madrid sent scouts to watch him play, and they were sure he was a future star. They set up a deal, and Neymar went to Madrid with his dad. He did well in the trial, and everything was ready for him to join. But at the last minute, Neymar changed his mind. He wanted to go back to Santos and asked the club to match Madrid's offer, which they did. So, Neymar stayed in Brazil. Back at Santos in 2009, Neymar was on fire. At just 17, he made his debut for the senior team, kicking off something special. In his first season, he scored 14 goals in 48 games. By 2010, he had 14 goals in 19 games in the Campeonato Paulista and 42 goals in 60 games for Santos overall. Big clubs like Chelsea and West Ham were seriously interested and made real offers to sign him. Neymar had become so good that he made his debut for the national team. Surprisingly, he didn't make Brazil's 2010 World Cup squad, even though many people wanted him to be included. But his biggest performance that year came with Santos in the Copa Libertadores. To understand how big this was, here's some backstory. Santos hadn't won the Copa Libertadores since 1963 during Pele's days. But Neymar in 2011 was about to change that. He was special. Neymar scored 6 goals on the way to the final. After a 0-0 draw in the first leg, Neymar, in front of a home crowd with Pele watching, scored a crucial goal, leading Santos to a 2-1 victory in the second leg. He had 9 goal contributions in 13 games, catching the attention of many top teams, including Real Madrid, who tried to sign him again. However, Neymar chose to stay at Santos and continued to impress. One of his stunning goals that year even won him the Puskas Award. Before Neymar, players like Robinho and Ronaldinho had come from Brazil's league and made it to Europe as promising talents. But Neymar was more than that. He was an elite player still with Santos and made it to the Ballon d'Or top 10. In 2011, Neymar won the South American Footballer of the Year. By 2012, he hit a unique milestone. On his 20th birthday, Neymar scored his 100th career goal. Just to be clear, Neymar was only 20 years old, playing in Brazil's top league, and had already scored 100 career goals. That season, he scored 43 goals and provided 10 assists in 47 games, winning the South American Footballer of the Year for the second time, beating stars like Ronaldinho. By 2013, Neymar was ready to take the stage with Brazil in his first major tournament with the national team. For Neymar, it was his big moment on home soil, the 2013 FIFA Confederations Cup. And let's just say, Neymar didn't just meet expectations, he blew them out of the water. He was on a whole different level. 4 Man of the Match awards, 4 goals, and 2 assists in 5 games, including a huge goal in the final against a peak Spain team. After that performance, it was obvious to everyone, including Neymar himself, that staying at Santos was no longer an option. Clubs were lining up, ready to pay whatever it took to get his signature. But in the end, one club stood above the rest. Barcelona came in strong, dropping $57 million to make Neymar their latest star. When Neymar landed at Barcelona, the headlines said it all. Messi was still the king of the club, but Neymar, He was the guy everyone believed would eventually become the next Messi. Neymar's first season? Solid, to say the least. But his focus quickly shifted back to Brazil, and this time, the pressure was even higher. Brazil was looking to go all the way in the 2014 World Cup, and Neymar was the man to make it happen. He started off with a bang, scoring in Brazil's opening game against Croatia to seal a 3-1 win. Then came the brace against Cameroon, finishing the group stage as Brazil's top scorer with 4 goals. He even helped Brazil push past Colombia in a nerve-wracking penalty shootout in the round of 16. But just as Neymar's career seemed to be taking off, disaster struck. A nasty tackle from Juan Zuniga in the quarterfinals left Neymar with a fractured vertebrae, and just like that, his World Cup was over. Brazil still won the game 2-1, but without Neymar in the semi-final, Brazil suffered their biggest World Cup defeat ever, a crushing 7-1 loss to Germany. After that brutal injury, Neymar was focused on bouncing back and getting back to the level he was at when he was tearing it up at Santos. And he did just that. By the 2014-15 season, Neymar was part of a trio that absolutely dominated European football. Barcelona took home the treble that season, winning La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League. Neymar played a starring role, with 22 goals and 9 assists in La Liga, 7 goals and 1 assist in the Copa del Rey, and 10 goals in 12 Champions League games, finishing as joint top scorer alongside Messi. Neymar even scored in the final, helping seal the win for Barcelona. That season, Neymar, along with Messi and Luis Suarez, formed the legendary MSN trio. It was electric, and everyone was watching. Individually, Neymar also got his shine, finishing 3rd in the Ballon d'Or rankings. In 2016, he made history by captaining Brazil to their first ever Olympic gold medal in football. This was just 2 years after Brazil's World Cup disaster against Germany, and with Neymar leading the charge, Brazil finally got their revenge, becoming Olympic champions. But the 2016-17 season was where things truly shifted for Neymar. Up until then, he'd been seen as the third wheel in Barcelona's attacking trio, but it was clear to him that despite his brilliance, he was always in Messi's shadow. That all came to a head in the epic Champions League comeback against PSG. After Barca had lost 4-0 in the first leg, Neymar stepped up in the second, scoring 2 goals and assisting 2 others in a 6-1 win that made football history. Neymar was the clear star of the show, but the headlines were all about Messi. That's when Neymar knew he had a decision to make. Stay in Messi's shadow or go somewhere he could be the main man? The answer came when PSG dropped a world record $222 million to make Neymar their star. He was officially Paris's latest attraction. His first season was solid, with 28 goals and 16 assists, helping PSG win Ligue 1 and the French Cup. But the pressure ramped up for Neymar heading into the 2018 World Cup, and unfortunately, his tournament turned into a complete disaster. Brazil was knocked out by Belgium in the quarter-finals, and Neymar could only manage 1 goal. The memes flooded in, and Neymar's career seemed to spiral down from there. Despite posting impressive numbers at PSG, 118 goals and 77 assists in 173 games, Neymar's time in Paris never lived up to expectations. Injuries kept piling up, and with Kylian Mbappe rising through the ranks, Neymar found himself in the shadow of a younger, faster star. He tried to force a move back to Barcelona multiple times, but it never worked out. After the 2022-23 season, Neymar said goodbye to PSG and headed to Al Hilal for a massive payday. But tragedy struck again when Neymar ruptured his ACL and meniscus, leaving him sidelined for over a year. The truth is, Neymar never really got the respect he deserves. But in his peak years from 2011 to 2015, he was arguably the most exciting young talent in the world. He achieved almost all his personal goals before leaving Europe, winning the Champions League, winning the treble, becoming Brazil's all-time top scorer, and playing in 3 World Cups. Yet, there's always that hanging over his career. Neymar knows it too. He's still a real one though, because he subscribed to Maestro. Don't miss out on the next big thing. Hit that subscribe button and stay locked in with Maestro. You won't regret it.